Hello and welcome to Auntie Collins Predictions. I'm your host, Auntie Collins. This is a video format of the podcast this week, and we are going through the predictions for AEW Double or Nothing. I usually host the predictions over on my Discord channel. If you are interested in that Discord, let me know. I'd be happy to send you the invite because we have a lot of fun. We've been doing weekly predictions for television. We've been doing pay-per-view predictions for almost 2 years now. I just think it's been awesome bringing the community together, whether online, in person, or what have you. It just makes it feel like a family. So if you would like to get in on the predictions, down below you will see the Google form. You'll be able to go ahead and jump in on those predictions. Now, I do want to start with some housekeeping moving forward. See, this is a loving and caring, but yet sassy community. So if there is trash talk in the Discord server, it is welcome. But never are we bashing someone's looks. We are never bashing someone's sexual orientation or gender identity. We are loving and accepting community, and we accept all people from all lifestyles. We don't really talk about politics. We do have other channels if you would like to talk about things outside the scope. But I just want to remind you, as I turn my cell phone to quiet, that I just wanted to keep that, heads up. I haven't really had to ban anyone, but I do have to remind people of those rules over on the Discord. Now, because this is AEW Double or Nothing, this is a marquee event. This is AEW's marquee. This is their WrestleMania, I guess. And this is big. So we have a big card. So if you're ready, I would love to jump right in. So the Auntie Collins predictions, there is a form. If you win the predictions, you do get $25 to either AEW shop or WWE shop or Amazon, because that's the easiest way for me to send it to you. If you win, please answer your DMs. Please answer your Discord, what have you. If I'm reaching out to you, please answer within 48 hours. I'll give you about 2 days to answer so that I can send you that gift card over. If not, I will pick a new winner. We haven't really had that as a case, but I feel like I need to address that. So, what are you waiting for? Let's jump into the predictions. We have 13 matches on this pay-per-view card. It is a lot. I was going through and making the predictions, and it's a lot. It is a big pay-per-view. So if you're ready, let's jump right in. So the first match announced is for the buy-in. It is Hookhausen, which is Hook and Danhausen, versus Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. Now, for the last couple weeks, we've kind of seen, last couple months, we've seen Hook dominate, like absolutely dominate, in the way that I haven't seen a fresh talent, a rookie talent, dominate. The way that he wrestles is not cut and paste. It is not a formula. It is true to who Hook is and the training that he's received. And you have Danhausen, who is a great wrestler, but his gimmick is everything. Absolutely everything. You can see how over he is with the crowd. Now, Tony Nese, if I'm being objective, is probably one of the best wrestlers that I've seen. And Smart Mark Sterling is a comedy character. So you have on both teams a great wrestler and you have a great gimmick. And the two combined make great tag team wrestling. So we've seen Danhausen come out. Who am I? I'm very nervous, but that's okay. So Danhausen came out versus Tony Nese on an episode of Rampage very recently and get squashed in a matter of seconds, which was incredibly disappointing because that was his debut match in AEW since being signed. And if you've seen Danhausen on the indies, you know what he's capable of. He is capable of entertaining your freaking pants off. But it's set up for this. And we've been waiting for this. So if I'm going to predict who I want to win in this, it's going to be Hookhausen all the way. But I think this is the first time Hook and Danhausen have teamed together. And I've seen Danhausen tag team with my favorite wrestler, Effie. And it is just phenomenal. The magic is phenomenal. So I think this buy-in match is going to be magical. I think that we're going to see some hard-hitting wrestling. We're going to see a lot of comedy, and we're going to be entertained, which is exactly what you want to do right before a large marquee pay-per-view. So my choice is Hookhausen. So I'm just going per the list. This isn't like in order of importance, but I am going the list via Wikipedia. So thank you whoever updates everything on Wikipedia, because you seem to update it within a matter of seconds. So thank you. So we have a singles match that was announced last night on Rampage. And I'm really glad that I waited until today to put up the predictions, to make this video, because without that, we wouldn't have gotten this match announced. So we have a match announced of Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin. Now, this seems to be quickly packaged together. So it hasn't had a long-term build to it. But we've seen Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish kind of come into the scene. They are excellent wrestlers, and I don't think anyone would deny that. But we do have this opposing side of Darby Allin with Sting that has been a pillar in the AEW landscape. So Kyle coming in new, hot, ready to fight, and we have Darby Allin willing to be that pillar of, if you can beat me, then what is next? And that's kind of how I feel going into this. It's not really of who is a better wrestler or what would I rather see. I think that Kyle O'Reilly has to prove by beating one of the four pillars. It's very Scott Pilgrim versus the World, where he has to defeat these 7 evil exes. And I feel like Kyle O'Reilly needs to go through the 4 pillars or 3 pillars or even just multiple pillars in the AEW landscape to be even considered for an AEW World Championship or a TNT Championship. A lot of fans love Kyle O'Reilly. They love Bobby Fish. I mean, who wouldn't love someone who was around when the world was created? But we have to think about, why would this match be set up? So I'm going to go with my pick of Kyle O'Reilly. Next match that I have on here is the singles match for the AEW TBS Championship. Now, Jade Cargill has absolutely dominated. The addition of the baddies is just iconic. I want to be one of the baddies. I want to campaign myself to be a baddie. So Jade, hey, your auntie wants to be a part of it. I'll show whatever you want. I just want to be a baddie. And I think it would be awesome if AEW had a shirt that said AEW baddies. And it's iconic. I don't really have words for it. But it's Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay. Now, Jade has matched with Anna Jay before. And I think a lot of people would call it a squash match. I think that Anna Jay did get some offense in. But I don't think that this is Anna Jay's time. And in the landscape of everything, I don't know who is ready for Jade yet. I don't know who is ready to take on Jade yet. We might see shades in Chris Statlander, or we can make arguments for that. We can make arguments probably for Sheeta, probably for other people who've kind of been in the spotlight a little bit. But I don't think anybody's on Jade Cargill's level, so my pick is Jade Cargill. Now, we have a couple tag team matches on this card. One that I do want to talk about is this 6-man tag team match. This is the House of Black, which is Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King, versus Death Triangle, which is Pac, Penta Oscuro, and Rey Fenix. And I love Ray Phoenix. I'm so glad that he is back. It was really gnarly to see that brutal dislocation of the shoulder, elbow, all the things, because I was sure that he had a broken arm and he was going to be out for months. But he came back a few weeks later. To me, it seems like he is ready to go. That match between him and Kylie O'Reilly was just, I didn't think that they would be so great, have such great chemistry in the ring, but it was just so seamless. And it's unfortunate that Ray Phoenix didn't advance in the Owen Hart tournament. But I think building up to this, I think the House of Black has really brought in a little bit of brutality, and it's kind of simmered off, you know? I feel like they sprayed their mist at Julia. They kind of had some beef going on there, which is how this whole feud was set up. And I'm really torn because I think that there is heat under Death Triangle. I think that with Ray being back and the fact that Penta and Ray are both tag team champions in this company, I don't I can make arguments for both sides as to why the House of Black could win and why Death Triangle could win. It's going to be a great match regardless. We are going to see some high spots. We're going to see Pac do things with his body that I don't understand how anybody could do. And I think that Malachi Black is going to show out. But I want to know who the fans really are behind. And I think that Malachi Black had so much heat on him when he first debuted in his feud with Cody. But I think in the scheme of things, I think that the House of Black should go over to keep this feud going, keep this momentum going, and keep the nastiness going. So my choice is the House of Black. The next one is a match that I've kind of been lackluster to, but it is a 6-person mixed tag team match. I do not like mixed tag matches. I think that the rules of mixed tag where the girl and the guy have to tag in and out, I think it's lame. It's lame. But I think for this feud, it kind of works. So the stipulation for this match, though, is if American Top Team win, neither Sammy Guevara nor Frankie Kazarian will be allowed to challenge for the TNT Championship as long as Scorpio Sky is the champion. We've had stipulations like this where Cody, as I've mentioned before, was going for the AEW Championship and he lost the ability to ever fight for it again. And I think that AEW really kind of messed up with that because it kind of really limited to Cody. And then he had to go for the TNT title, which his reign with the TNT title, his multiple reigns were great. But I think that having stipulations like this kind of murkies the water a little bit because you're like, okay, well, does that make sense? But I think in this case it really does because Sammy Guevara is already a 3-time TNT championship winner and he's already exchanged it a few times now with Scorpio Sky. And Frankie Kazarian already had the opportunity to get the TNT championship, which he lost. That match was pretty great in my opinion. But I think that there's been some luster lost from Scorpio Sky. I think when he won the championship in that the last ladder match versus Sammy, I think that the crowd was like, yes, finally, Scorpio Sky got it. Like, we've been gunning for Scorpio Sky. But I think something's happened in the last couple weeks. And I don't want to say it's all Dan Lambert's fault, but I really don't like Dan Lambert. And I don't know if it's because I am femme presenting and also know that he's super sexist and has been homophobic and has said some things for him personally. But I think that Dan Lambert really does love wrestling, even though he is a really shitty heel. And I think his goal is to make you hate him. So I think he's doing a great job because, but I think that this stipulation would keep Sammy Guevara and Frankie Kazarian away from the TNT title. I think adding Paige Van Zant in a pay-per-view match is perfect because she is making her like pay-per-view debut here in a match. And I think even having Paige pin Tay would just be the fire that is needed to start and ignite that feud. I know that they're already kind of simmering right now. They're kind of burning, they're kind of sparking, but I want to see what Paige Van Zant has in the realm of professional wrestling. So if Paige Van Zant does that and costs everybody, I think that'll spark a great feud moving forward. So my pick is American Top Team. We have another tag team match, and it is the Hardys versus the Young Bucks. If you've been a fan of tag team wrestling, you know who the Hardys are. They are iconic. They are what everybody thinks of a tag team, I guess, in this scope of if you have a Mount Rushmore of just tag teams. So when this was announced, it's like, yes, we are going to have entertainment. We are going to see the Swanton Bombs. We are going to see the super kicks. We are going to see just ruckus about. And that makes me excited. I've always been a Hardy fan. As a kid, we used to jump off. We had this blue and red couch, and we would balance on both sides of the couch and just dive into the middle where we would put the cushions like we were the Hardys. And I think that perspective, that, oh my God, the Hardys made me want to tag team, is exactly why the Young Bucks became tag teams in their own sense. So the Hardys versus the Young Bucks, this is Jeff Hardy's pay-per-view. Like, this is his first pay-per-view in AEW. And I think that having this match is perfect. But we know that this isn't going to be the last time these two teams meet. I know that they're going to continue to have a feud. So would the feud be continued with the Hardys winning or with the Young Bucks winning? I think that both tag teams do have an argument for each other. But with it being Jeff Hardy's first pay-per-view, I'm going to go with the Hardys winning. But I don't think it's going to be exactly a clean win. And I think that it's going to spark some controversy. So my pick is the Hardys. All right, we do have a three-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. This would be the Jurassic Express, who are the current champions of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, versus Team Taz of Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. Now, if you were anything of anyone of any knowledge of them on the indies of Keith Lee and Swerve, as you all know, probably, maybe I'm from the Seattle area, so Swerve, coming from very close to my hometown, about 30 minutes away, where we all knew who Swerve was. This has been Swerve's house. And seeing Keith Lee and Swerve tag team once again off the indies, off their WWE NXT runs, it's just like riding a bike again. It's just so synced together. And I think the Jurassic Express has had a great run so far. I think that they've had some okay matches, but it hasn't been to the caliber of, say, Penta and Rey, the Young Bucks, and even Adam Page and Kenny Omega. I think that the Jurassic Express needs a few more to kind of solidify them, but I don't know if that's going to be here. Are they going to go back and forth? We really haven't seen that with the major titles, with AEW kind of flip-flopping titles. I think it can diminish them, but I think it does move story along. So I don't know if this would be the correct way to do it if you're wanting the main titles to have those long builds, or if AEW is wanting to have the Jurassic Express lose them, but which team would take them? I don't know. I think it could go any way. But I think the Jurassic Express needs a few more marquee matches, some title defenses that would be more solidifying to their reign. And I think the crowd really does like Jungle Boy. They all sing his entrance theme. They do love Luchasaurus. I think that we've seen that, since the beginning of AEW. But I really see the crowd loving Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs just as much as they like Keith Lee and Swerve. Now, I don't want to discount Ricky Starks at all, even though he was pinned this last week by Swerve. So going into it, Swerve already has that advantage over Ricky. And I think it's really the dichotomy of each team has a quick, fast guy and a big, burly guy. And those are my favorite kind of matches. Jungle Boy, Ricky, and Swerve are going to do those huge spots that you're going to go, oh my God, holy shit. But I think that Luchasaurus, Hobbs, and Keith Lee are going to wow us because those three can do those big spots, but they also are big, meaty men slapping some meat. So, who do I pick? I'm going to pick the Jurassic Express just because I don't think that this is the time as of yet. But I think that they need this match to kind of be the dotting of the T's, crossing the I's. That is the wrong way. I think it's going to be like the period on their reign, and I think that this will be the last time that they will successfully defend. Now, we do have this whole thing of Christian and Jungle Boy butting heads a little bit, causing some friction, and I do think that we'll see the fallout of that. I don't think that Christian is going to cost the match, but I think we're going to see the fallout of that relationship. So my pick is still Jurassic Express, but it's going to be good. So we're going to have this Anarchy in the Arena match, and I don't know what the fuck this is going to be, but it's going to be awesome. You know that Chris Jericho really is a brilliant entertainer. And he's a wizard, and he has all of these different pieces of it. It is going to be the Chris Jericho Appreciation Society, which I'm so glad that he dropped the kind of influencer bullshit, because we know that Jericho isn't the influencer. But Jericho, Matt Maynard, Angela Parker, Daniel Garcia, and Jake Hager all comprise of this Jericho Appreciation Society. And this whole riff started when the Inner Circle, which used to be this stable that Santana and Ortiz were part of with Chris Jericho, when Santana and Ortiz woke up and they're like, we joined this tag team, this stable, so that we could win and we could get gold and we could accomplish a lot of things, but the Inner Circle hasn't made them anymore but just the losers. And I think if you had seen how Ortiz and Santana were booked in Impact, I think that you know that something is missing. If you've only seen them in AEW, maybe they might seem like a big deal to you, but they are amazing wrestlers. Hello, do you remember that street fight with Trent and Chuck Taylor where they were in the parking lot? That was amazing. So we know that Santana Ortiz are able to pull out a weird as fuck, fuckery, fuck, Anarchy in the Arena match, which I don't know how it's going to be filmed. I don't know how they're going to have all these different spots. But it all started with Santana and Ortiz wanting to win, and Eddie Kingston knowing them from before and saying, you know what, like, Chris Jericho isn't helping you win. I can help you win. And the Blackpool Combat Club of Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley, they've been winning too. So if Santana and Ortiz listen to the Blackpool Combat Club, they're going to win. And they should be winning because they are talented and exceptional. But I think under Chris Jericho, they weren't highlighted in that regard. But I don't know who is going to be a winner. How do you even win an Anarchy in the Arena match? I just know that Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho are money. And I just want to see them fight each other. I just want to see them throw promos on each other. I just want to make them make me entertained. And as much as I don't like Chris Jericho as a person, I love Chris Jericho as an entertainer, as a sports entertainer. So I think that the Jericho Appreciation Society is going to get on top, but it's not going to be easy and is going to be messy, and they are going to cheat because we need more of this. We need Eddie Kingston versus Chris Jericho again. We need Santana and Ortiz pissed again. And we need the Blackpool Combat Club to really not be involved in the decision, but just absolutely kick the shit out of everybody. So my choice for the Anarchy in the Ring match is the Jericho Appreciation Society. All right, so we have our Owen Cup, Owen Hart Foundation Finals over here. This tournament has been awesome. You can see the brackets online, how everything has really played out. With the women's side, you've seen Shida be removed because of injury. Well, kayfabe injury. So we've kind of have some switching people, some different kind of feuds come out. But in the end, it was Britt Baker and Ruby Soho again. And last night on Rampage, you could tell the crowd was not happy. The crowd wanted Chris Statlander. The fans want Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander just came back with this new gimmick, this dark as fuck, moody, brutal, has fight in her. And unfortunately, her dreams of going to the Owen Hart Foundation final slipped away. So we are going to see Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho. Now, I had mentioned previously with Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin that Kyle O'Reilly needed to go through the pillar, right? An AEW pillar. I think Britt Baker is a pillar of AEW, and anyone who can get through her will be a top star. Just like how Nyla Rose is being a pillar for the women's division, and every up-and-comer seems to need to go through Nyla. Well, I think that in order to prove that you can be a contender for the AEW Women's Championship, you need to get through someone who was one of the greatest AEW Women's Champion of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I could see Britt Baker winning and juxtaposed with Adam Cole winning and having this power couple dynamic. But if I'm really thinking about it and really thinking about how this would play out storyline wise, Ruby Soho came here for All Out. She won the eliminator, whatever, women's battle royal. And what else has she done? She's lost to Britt Baker. She's lost to a lot of people. She's been a pawn in other people's journey to the top. But I think that Ruby Soho winning the Owen Hart Foundation tournament final would just be almost too perfect. I don't think that it's going to be easy, but I really would like to see Ruby Soho. I really do love Ruby Soho. I wish she had better merch, but I really like Ruby Soho. I would like to see her win. And I think that her going through Britt Baker as a pillar will truly solidify Ruby's journey towards the AEW Women's Championship, which I think will be in sight for Ruby moving forward. So my pick is Ruby Soho. Okay, so we have the other side of the Men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament final. We have Samoa Joe, who was our Joker, which I screamed so loud. He is the ROH television champion. And we have Adam Cole, who has been amazing since he debuted over at All Out. Who can I see? I love Adam Cole so much. You all know that Adam Cole is one of my favorite wrestlers right now. But Samoa Joe is my guy. He's such... I can't... Maybe it's because him and Kurt Angle had such great chemistry over in TNA. And from what I've seen Samoa Joe go through week after week after week, I mean, there's a size advantage. Hello? Samoa Joe... Let me see if I can quickly do this. Okay, Samoa Joe. I'm clicking on this right now. I'm not editing this out. I don't have time to edit. So Samoa Joe is 6'2", 310 pounds. That's what he's billed at. Adam Cole is still billed at 6 foot, which we all know that Adam Cole is a very short 6 foot at 200 pounds. So Samoa Joe has more than 100 pounds on this guy. So they both wrestle differently, but they both wrestle with everything that they have. Everything that they have is wrestling. I do know that Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh are banned from ringside. So that'll work in Samoa Joe's advantage. But it doesn't say that Red Dragon isn't banned from ringside, because you know that Adam Cole does have friendship in Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, as well as the Young Bucks. So I think there might be fuckery afloat, but I think my winner for this would be Samoa Joe, because I think having him win, because he just recently signed with AEW, and he also holds that ROH TV Championship title. I just think the world of Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe just looks good with gold on his shoulder. And I think that Adam Cole has had some great matches leading up to this, and he's won a lot. And I don't think that he would lose anything if he lost to Samoa Joe. So size, skill set, we have to go with Samoa Joe, because if he loses to Adam Cole, what does that say about ROH moving forward? So my pick is Samoa Joe. All right, we have 3 more matches and we're over 30 minutes. So thank you so much for sticking through all of this predictions. Remember, you can support the predictions online at patreon.com/callzorgs. We are on Discord if you want to get involved. And you can join me in predicting for the chance to win $25. Just go down below, look at the Google form, and join in on the fun. Okay, we have 3 matches left. So we have a singles match. MJF versus Wardlow. If Wardlow wins, he will be granted his release from his contract with MJF. But if MJF wins, Wardlow will be permanently banned with signing with AEW. This is a no-brainer, folks. Come on. You know that Wardlow has the fans behind him. Everybody fucking hates MJF. You love to hate MJF. So Wardlow is going to do a lot of those powerbomb symphonies. I predict maybe 5 or 6, maybe 7 or 8. But I think that Wardlow needs to send a message to MJF. And I think that he needs to send a message to MJF saying, I don't fucking need you. I never needed you. You needed me and you didn't treat me with respect. So Wardlow is going to go all out. Sean Spears will probably interfere. But we are all behind Wardlow. If MJF wins, think of the outrage. Think of all the edgelords typing in the chat. Oh my goodness. No. It's going to be Wardlow. It's obvious. My pick is Wardlow. Kick his ass, bud. Kick his ass. All right, we do have the singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship here. We have Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb. Now, if you know about them in NWA, they had such a series, such a great series. If you have the opportunity, go watch that. Thunder Rosa was a great NWA Women's Champion. So them together does have chemistry. They do have a history. And I think that Serena Deeb has a little bit of a fire under her ass. She has been discounted time and time again. She's not the cookie cutter, made for television, hair flowing in the wind, the camera loves her. She has worked her ass off. And whether or not you agree with her personally, I don't think that we can discount that Serena Deeb has been amazing at wrestling. This whole time we had no idea. Maybe we did. But she's making a stake for herself. She is advocating for herself. But I don't think that this is Thunder Rosa's time to lose the AEW Women's Championship. I think that this is going to be another win for Thunder Rosa. I've also really loved Thunder Rosa's cowboy hats or cowgirl hats, or gender is weird. But I've been really loving this AEW Women's World Championship Thunder Rosa. She's so fucking badass. She is so great. And this is going to be a tit for tat match. But Thunder Rosa is going to come up on top. That'll be another win for Thunder Rosa. All right, our final match of the evening is the singles match for the AEW World Championship. We have our champion, the anxious millennial cowboy, Hangman Adam Page, versus everybody's favorite wrestler, the voice of the voiceless, Mr. CM Punk. If you told me a year ago that this was going to be a match on a pay-per-view, I would have never believed you, because I don't think anyone believed that CM Punk would come back to wrestling. I think that WWE really soured wrestling for CM Punk. I think that 7 years away took a lot out of him. I think that we've seen him age quite a bit in the last 7 years. I mean, hello, I've aged in the last 3 years. But I don't want to see anyone discount Hangman Adam Page's reign as the AEW World Champion. He's had fantastic matches with really giant pillars of wrestling, big threats in the wrestling world. His matches with Bryan Danielson, like, if you ever want to show someone wrestling, those are the matches that you should show them. His matches with Adam Cole, like, some of the best entertaining, like, wrestling matches that I've seen. And we can't forget that Hangman Adam Page had a great street fight against Lance Archer. Lance Archer is brutal, and Adam Page being thrown into brutality, bringing out different sides, different demons. And I think we're seeing that a little bit, where Adam Page's demons are coming out a little bit. I think that he's been such a white meat baby face for so long. This, down on his luck coming up towards the AEW World Championship, that maybe he's getting a little cocky. Maybe he's getting a little bit too big for his own. And CM Punk feels like he's needed to tell him what's up. Tell him his place. Tell him that he hasn't been a great champion. And I think that CM Punk really honing in on, why are you taking it so personal? Why are you mad? Seem like you got something on your shoulder. Seem like you have something you need to talk about. Because CM Punk is here for that championship. I don't think that CM Punk would return to wrestling without wanting to get that championship. Will it happen here? That's the question. That is the real thing on everybody's mind. I've seen a lot of different people speculate online. Is this CM Punk's time? Is this the time for CM Punk? Is it time for Hangman Adam Page to be done? I'm interested. How long has his reign been to date? He has held the belt for 194 days. That's longer than Chris Jericho. However, Jon Moxley held it for 277 days and Kenny Omega held it for 346 days. So he's not holding it the least amount of time, but he's only really, he just won it at Full Gear in November, and then he defended it at Revolution. So is that enough time that he's given? And I've gone back and forth. I have no script for this, by the way. So going back and forth, we know that CM Punk is going to be the champion one day, but is it going to happen here? And my theory is that CM Punk is going to bring out more demons in Hangman Adam Page than he is comfortable with. And I think we're going to see that heel turn. But CM Punk is not going to be successful in winning the AEW World Championship. I think that Hangman Adam Page is going to hold on for maybe 1 or 2. And CM Punk will rise again. He won't be diminished by losing, but it will bring out something that I don't think that we've seen before. So my winner is Hangman Adam Page, which means there would be no championship titles changed on this pay-per-view. Now I'm second guessing. You know what? Balls to the walls. I'm changing my prediction. We are going CM Punk. That is going to be our only title change at this pay-per-view. Wow, I'm really going all or nothing. I'm going double or nothing. And I think that that's where we'll end this predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Sound off and join the predictions. Can you beat me? Can you beat me for my predictions? Let's see what you got. $25 is on the line. I don't know, man. This is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. Good luck, and may the odds be in your favor.